So I came to see Michael because I was having some thoughts about improving myself, particularly in the areas around self-confidence and self-esteem. I'd originally sort of considered myself a shy person. Growing up, I was always, the quiet one in class, and I just wanted to work on that. I wanted to, find the authentic me and start to, get myself back out there and see the world through a different lens.
On the surface, everything was great. Was in a successful job, felt should feel happy, should feel great, but was still struggling with confidence deep down, still struggling to reconcile how I felt sometimes about myself, and also struggling just with my deep down confidence. So it was almost like I was putting on a facade, and I wanted to understand, could that be improved, could that be enhanced?
Procrastination. I felt I was underperforming in work, and I was not prioritising my workload to get the best results. Important things I would put off, and I would get on with the less important things because they were easier to resolve.
So when I first met Michael, I was really impressed. I knew instantly, sort of intuitively, that I was in safe hands. He instantly made me feel at ease without any sort of pressure or judgment. It was like meeting an old friend who I haven't seen in years. I could talk to him about anything, and it was just a lovely feeling. I knew I was at the right place.
The most amazing thing to me was how quite quickly we talked about some things that maybe I hadn't realised were an issue, and some things that had happened to me previously that subconsciously would be affecting me. I think what was great to see was also with some of the notes and the feedback given that I'm not the only person this happens to. We're probably all a bit like this, and I started to realise quite quickly, wow, there's some simple things I can do, and there's some simple behaviours I've adopted that I need to change.
I think if you change your mind, you change your life, and ultimately it's only you who can change your life. I was blaming everything and everyone as to why I wasn't progressing. I always had a reason. Mine was, I was very ill 10 years ago, and I've used that as a reason. In my younger childhood years, people would tell me I can't, so I actually believed I can't. But ultimately, and with Michael's help, he made me realise that it's only me who can really change my life. No one else can do it for me. It can be difficult, but as I said, if you change your mind, your life really will change. But you do need, and I believe I needed help for that, because I didn't have the confidence to do it on my own. And to me, it's an investment in my future, and so that's more important than anything else.
So some of the first things we worked on was, I guess, understanding, my story. So Michael took a genuine interest in understanding the events that had led me, into this room here in this really comfortable chair. We talked about my belief structure. We talked about, my value system, and we sort of worked on that initially just to get an idea of what it was about me that was maybe missing, or may have been suppressed, or may have been squashed through, the rigid conditioning that Michael talks about. And throughout the sessions, we started to get to a point where we talked about resetting and realigning those belief structures to be less rigid, to be more flexible and more self-promoting. And that was, for me, was one of those eureka moments.
Personally, my personal life and my relationship with my other half's never been stronger and better. My relationship with my friends is stronger. I actually listen when they're talking. I actually care about what's happening to them. And professionally, it's just taken me to a different level. From when I started this process to now, I've actually changed my job. I have an absolutely amazing role now, which I'm relishing, and it isn't stressing me out.
It's something that I did therapy for a whole year, and it took me nowhere. But with Michael, it was within a month or so, I was starting to see results in so many ways. I started being thankful for a lot of things that I do, and I no longer started seeing problems or issues as a problem. It was just more an obstacle that I needed to deal with and resolve and then move on. So I don't actually see things as problems now. It's great.
You know, for me, the journey from start to finish has been both exciting and stimulating, and just entirely pleasant. You know, working with Michael, as I said, was instantly rewarding. I found, you know, the changes happened both immediately, but also it's continued to grow over time, and the belief structure I have in place now has enabled me to, you know, to continue to grow whilst being aware of the way I look at the world. So I think, you know, for me, it's been rapid dynamic change, but also it's this stepping stone and the base of further change and further development to occur. So I'm really pleased about that.